finally we can get down to some more Build the Enterprise goodies. Hi guys, Retro Trek Ralph here with another issue of the Star Trek Next Generation Build the US Enterprise D magazine, build series. Let's have a go. This time we've got, finally, and I apologise for the delay on this. This has been, we had the last build in November. So it's been a while. It's been 3 months, and I don't know why, but we've got 15. Luckily for you guys, I've actually got 16 as well, and 17 actually, at the time of filming this, is actually dispatched. So we're going to have a lot of these very, very quickly. I am upgraded to the, at least I should be upgraded to the weekly version instead of the monthly one, but we'll see exactly what happens with that in the future. So at the moment, let's look at the magazine, shall we? This will be the part one, hopefully. We'll see how it goes anyway. So we have inside here, inside the issues, we've got different episodes. I am actually editing this sort of thing on Memory Alpha, if you actually want to go and look at what I've put on there at the moment. It's nothing major, it just shows you a little bit of a background to things. Right, so it looks like stage 55, finally onto stage 55. We have a, I don't know, I think this is the back of the saucer. I think because we're missing a part over here, actually be underneath where the actual shuttle bay is. I think that's that. It's like 2 impulse engines, it's a Det 2 base. Yeah, so parts, bits, screws, bottom of the cell, phaser banks. I'm looking forward to getting them on. That might finally get the top sorted out. More skeleton, but this is going to be the underneath side. Lower skeleton 4. Lights, cable ties, distribution board, another part of the skeleton. So it's showing assembly. We'll go through this pretty much anyway. Ooh, looks like we're fitting on this one, we're fitting that. Impulse engines go in, finally. Not quite sure about the light bleed on them, but we'll see the parts eventually. 56, we'll go through this pretty quick anyway, because we'll see this on its own episode anyway. Ooh, get a full saucer. That's going to be interesting. Yep, keep going. You will see this later on. So we have the episode synopsis of Captain's Holiday, Series 3, Episode 19, Tin Man, Episode 20, Hollow Pursuits, 21, and the most toys, even though the, it's like the Hulk. It's one of his little shields for 22. See, it's funny because you've actually got a character down here. I remember him from Time Bandits. He was actually meant to be the proper, what's his name now? Is it? Now, forget it. It'll come to me eventually anyway, but it was fully refilmed. I don't think they were very happy with the actual way it was acted. I don't know, or whether or not it was just weird. Can't tell. No idea why it didn't. Probably it's inside that anyway. Sarek as well, episode 23. This was a very good episode with Mark Leonard, showing that he got Bendai syndrome. Very, very good. And it's good to actually get the original characters and actresses. Actually, Sarek was the original actor anyway, but she was Amanda. No, it wasn't Amanda, was it? It was Perrin. Yes, of course it was, because Amanda died years ago. So we have 4-page and Walter Koenig. Actually, was probably there on the same time as we were probably filming Star Trek 4, Star Trek 5 or something, probably. I don't know. So there's the magazine. Now let's get down some pieces, shall we? 55. Yes, that's what we're going to be doing today. I'll give a quick look over at 56, as we've seen now, and 57, and 58. I'm not showing you any more because they're over there waiting for the next series anyway. So let's start with, I'm going to get these out of the bag and see. Let's get started this, shall we? Finally, 3 months late. So there we go, all the parts. We have this big panel here for the back. Underneath here looks like they've got the part for the shuttle bay. Decals already on there. 2 impulse engines, which is good. Looks like these 2 would be, parts of these would connect to, possibly. Light blockers and LED holders. Yeah. So that's for those 2. These look really quite good. They are made out of red plastic, and you can see enough through it when the LED's in, I don't know how much that's going to do, but they are painted afterwards. I hope these don't have enough. I hope there's enough paint on there to block the light. Look pretty good actually, nice and detailed. I have a screw cover, a battery cover I think it is, or it's something sort of cover, and a nut. Not quite sure. Battery, I was hoping that these wouldn't be powered individually, so you can probably break off a cell and just have it lit on its own. That's a little bit, we could have put wires underneath and power this up from the main bulk of it. FM screws, FP screws, BM screws. So that's easy enough to do, shall we say. Nice metal piece there. I don't think that's going to be used because there's no extra parts for this. So let me put the screws in the part which is over here, and let's get this first part started. Now, concentrate on here. Stage 55 assembly. We have, to start with, we're using this 55A part, which is this. It looks like there's no, there's no light blocking anyway, so there's no LEDs coming through here. So what we need is, this stage is going to do, looks like it's going to finish the saucer off and put the impulse engines on. So, like I mentioned before, I need to put things on foam. So I've got a big piece of foam here, and this is going to be stuck on there. So this needs to then, right, okay, so I'm a little bit awkward on positioning of stuff now, so I can't see the magazine. So we go, right, there we go. So looks like place deck 2 panel plate piece on the saucer section as shown. Easy enough. A little bit of lip there, I think a screw would pull that down anyway. Use 6 FM screws on the bottom side with your dodgy screwdrivers. Eaglemoss is provided. Either. I've been so good at that screwdriver as well. And screw this in place. So let me get that panel in place underneath. 1 second. 6 FM screws are in place. What I'm doing is I've screwed that one in first, then that one, then this one, and then that one. But try and get diagonal, not try and get one side in and then the other. Then the two in the middle go all right afterwards. That's not bad actually. That I'm quite happy with that. Okay, so the next part, I need to go with the next page, is actually getting the bridge section back, which is over here. I'm glad to actually start with get rid of this because this is the one where I don't think we tightened this in place properly. Or at least I've deliberately left it loose so it would probably fit in place. If it was too tight, I think it was like that, it was a little bit over and stuff. Could do it being, the whole thing doesn't fit properly, or does it? Right. Retrieve the main bridge deck assembly deck 2 assembly, we did stage 5. Stage 5, so long ago. And thread the lock, yes, put that through. We've got cables aplenty. These want to go through there. I've got 4. I've even got an LED as well spare. Where does that go? I think it might be that one, which might not connect anyway. So everything's going through the middle all so far. I need to untangle a little bit. I mean, still, that one really shouldn't have been lit. That's a debate for another day, I think. Actually, what I'm going to do, I need to tighten these up because this is just, I've got to hope that the build is actually decent on this. That it squeezes everything together. Oh, I've really left everything untied. Yeah, let's see what happens with this. I've not got much hope this is going to fit properly. I think the pieces were originally bent in production. Although I could be very wrong. Well, there's a lot of screws on here. It looks like 2, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 19, 20, 21 screws holding it in. So that should bring it and pull it down. See what I mean? When it's all together, you've got this lovely lip, which hopefully will be pulled together when it's screwed in place. They have told us that everything will go in place when it's on. Not entirely certain about this. Right, so we'll put everything through. We're having the sponge there, it's a little bit awkward for me as well. So that will all go in there. I need to check the underside, making sure I'm not trapping any cables. Doesn't that look good? Apart from the amount of squares and the gaps and the panels, yeah, that's pretty good. This is getting heavy. So that will hold that in place. It's right where it wants to be. I just need to get all of these cables through. I'm not trapping anything. One there as well. It's okay. So those, they're not in anything. I assume there's another board going there as well. So there'll be 3 boards underneath here. A lot of things missing. I assume one of these lights will go possibly underneath, but I hope they haven't forgotten that. Right, everything seems to be coming underneath and done. We have parts for wiring up anyway. So, looking like this is all in the back here. I'm missing 2 parts there. Are those screws going in there as well? No, it doesn't even tell you to put screws in. Oh, it does. BMs. Ooh, there's a lot. BM, 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 BM. All 1, 2. Okay. It tells you how to plug them in. Right. This is just basically me screwing things in quite a lot. Does it tell you about them too? Yeah, another 2 BMs. No, it doesn't. They're the ones below it. Which are there? No, they're not there. They're on the side. This doesn't match. Or does it? Is it just those that I'm seeing? Yeah, because it's not going down. It's going there. Ah, that's them ones. BM screws down here. Right. So there's a lot of screws on here going in place. So if you're doing this yourself, be careful, because you might trap a cable. Make sure your cables are through and done, because this is, yeah, this could be fun. First set of screwing is in. This part here, as you can see, there are 14 screws, 14 BM screws that go in. Right, let's have a think. 2 down here, 2 here, there are 2 there, 2 here, 2 here. And then there are 1, 2, 3 and 4. So that's all of those in. The next stage is taking this out to remove the screws. Actually, I think there was somebody actually mentioned that the screws on here was actually shorting out the board. So one of them was actually in the wrong place. But we need to remove that and then just gently pull this out. I can probably remove that and then unscrew there and there to lift this over, because everything on here is over this side here and everything there is on the front. Then there's another 8 screws underneath here to do. So it is showing on the part here, take out the 2 screws, which it is saying is the top there and there on the actual instructions. I've done it the other way around because I was told it was actually shorting, but ignore me. Just follow the instructions. It's perfectly fine. It's not telling you to take out the power one for the bridging one, this small one here, but I'm doing it anyway just because. I think it actually is right to do that. A pair of pliers so we can get that out of there. Don't need the cover for it, I'll lose that completely. Oh, for an edit. No. So as long as this isn't fully down, it will come out and you can take the screws off afterwards. There we go. So I'm going to put those up there because these are for the board. I will try and put them back in as they suggest then. See, if that's in there, it's going to pull it back a little bit. So, where do we have his 8 screws then? Oh, right, so 4 in the middle, 2 either side. So 1, let me get you in a little bit. I have to excuse the angle, I've got no space. There's 4 right here. There are 1 there, same on this side here. This is actually pulling in all the board. So it's actually not looking too bad. I've had a quick look underneath and you'll see it in a minute. It doesn't actually look too bad. So screwing your 8 BM screws again and then reattach this. Does it actually want, oh, it wants all 4 putting back in then. Okay, so it was just, I don't know why it was that way around for it. You only put 2 in originally, but it wants you to put all 4 back in. So I'm going to do that, put the 8 in, put them on, and I'll show you the other side to see if it's any good or not. All screws in place. Boards back in place. These are wired up. You've got all 3 of these on here. The cable, which has got the red, black, white, yellow, goes on this middle board here, 4th from the right. The one with the yeah, the yellow, black, red and blue goes to this far bottom right-hand corner one, and the other one with the green, yellow, black, red goes one next to it. So if you're like the same as me, the A1 goes onto the second to the right on the bottom right, B goes next to that, and then C goes up here. I'm still missing, there's one here, there's one here, there's one here. I suspect there may be another one or two somewhere, but these will get attached. I've got two LEDs here, which I think are for the impulse engines. I've got an LED here from that B, which I don't know what it does. It'll come eventually, I'm sure it will. In fact, all of these could do with just being a little bit, it's nice, but it could do a little bit of, maybe a little bit of hot glue to hold everything down, but they are quite nicely flattening themselves down. The new ones, yeah, we don't know where these go yet. Oh, there's two there actually. Okay, so there's three. Yeah, I'm going off tangent here a little bit. So they'll come in place eventually. So as promised, this is getting heavy. And there she is. That's the completed saucer. It doesn't seem bad at all. There's a gap there-ish. There's a bit round here. It's probably as good as this is going to get. And I'm perfectly happy with this, to be honest. It looks good, and I'm glad there's one more piece that has gone off of the build. I mean, yeah, these things will, like they did promise to start with, these would go into and they would screw in place. Just warn you now, honestly, warn you now. You bring all these screws in, yes, there's 14 and another 8. If you put them in, tighten them in as usual, just stop. And then tighten a bit more and wait until you feel a bit of resistance. Don't keep going. If you snap the screws, you'll have a gap. I haven't done that. That's not a warning saying, look what I've done. But you will get one. I have had one or two on this, the screw snapped, and it's been, yeah, it might be a reason why some things aren't fitting as well as others. But that is your warning. You will get a bit of friction screwing the screw in, and then it will get hotter, which is what metal things against metal do. So just warning you, take your time with it. Put and stop. Wait for it to cool itself down naturally. Maybe put a few in, 3 turnings, put them all in 3 turns, then go around again a couple of turns. Then don't go over tight, otherwise you will properly knacker this up. And at this stage, we're over halfway. Well, it should be 120, but we're on 56, 55. Yes, and I know I did the video last month. Well, sorry, Christmas, for the halfway point. It looked halfway-ish. I know we've got a lot of building to do, and hopefully we're getting a lot of pieces done pretty soon. So what I need is, well, let's get back onto thing now. I'm going to get both the impulse engines and both of the backing plates. I need 50E, which is this one. We're doing this one here, which is the port side. Technically, it's the port side. Flip over, yes. So I need 55. Doesn't show the numbers. Let's have a look. 55. No, because it doesn't show the numbers. Right, we're going to have to figure this out ourselves because this is just not. They look like it might fit on there. Doesn't look like it actually slots in place. Or glues in place. How does that fit in place there? Because the LED goes into there, as I'll show you there, it goes into there, but then this either goes on there, it doesn't. Because these are both different. There's no numbers on to tell you which one it is. Okay, 1 second, let's... Right, take the left saucer impulse engine. Ooh, we don't know which one it is, do we? And the left reflector plate, and slide them together as shown. Slide them? Ooh. This obviously goes down here. This needs to be... how would that slide? Am I just going stupid or something? It's definitely that way around. How would it... and slide them together as shown, but it doesn't slide together as shown. But if you slide it together with the impulse engine, which is down here, great. but it's not. I need to look into this, excuse me. Okay, impulse engines are in place. I will warn you now, 55E and 55C are different. You can tell the way that it fits onto here. One of these has got like a recessed area which it will fit onto one of these stick out sprewy bits, wherever they are. The actual impulse engines, 55D and 55B, I have no idea which one's the right one. I've put them one way and I put them the other way, and I don't know. I think they obviously want to point backwards with the lights. I think there's a slight angle up or an angle down if you put them one way or other. So test, try and done, and so far I think they look fine. There's a slight gap over here on this one, but that will be fitted in when it's been the bottom section or whatever's been on there. This one fits really well on this side, but still it's a loose piece. It says slide in place. It basically just put them together and then screw in place on the back of here anyway, right there and there, while putting the light through and then the light through there. So that should be secure enough to do. It just lips inside there. This piece is just, yeah, I could probably do with gluing it in place, but I'm trusting the build that it's going to do it what it's supposed to do. So last part. Do I need this? No, I don't. So we're done with the saucer for the time being. I need another piece of sponge. Right. So what we get now is this horrible battery pack with the switch and the connector, and we get 2 AP screws again. Oh, by the way, on the last one, on the impulse engines, plastic to plastic, it's different than when the metal screw goes into the metal. Metal will heat up and you will then remove the threads. The plastic is a lot more softer. You have been warned. If you could do it too much, then yeah, you run the risk of actually shearing it off. The only solution around both of them is using super glue. Prepare the super glue around the threads of the screw, put it in, tighten it in, hold it in place. If you can hold it while you're actually screwing it, and then it's holding that down while you're nipping whatever it's holding in place, wait till the glue sets off. Then it gives you a little bit better. One of those, yeah, it did do a little bit wrong then, but it's an easy solution to get round. So, assembling the warp nacelle battery box. I don't want to do this because I want it all wired up in one go. So you take the battery pack, which is that way around, pencil battery. Right, so you put the nut that we've got, a special nut. Actually, I remember now for the parts that I did in the last update delay. Well, it was a delay video, but it wasn't really a delay. Everything eventually came. And it kind of shows there's a special screw which will go in this. I think this nut is beveled on one side. No, it's just the plastic's not made right. Okay, so that goes in where the actual shape of it is. So that will give you the thread for the next part to hold in the battery cover. Come on, Ralph. I can do this. There we go. So the battery cover goes on top of, which goes in that way. Very high up on there. And AP screws. So this is just to hold this part in place, which is just, they could have done a little bit better with designing this. A little bit in, not too far in because you've got the other side in. You can put this one all the way in to start with. Screw, 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 nice and steady, hold on a minute and then carry on going. Wait till you feel a little bit of tautness, otherwise you just rip the thread you've just made out. This is plastic, and plastic is not that good. There you go, you've got a thread inside of there for putting this battery cover over with the thread inside. This tube on here will probably screw into the underneath of the cell for a later one, and this will be the screwing the battery cover, holding everything in place. So there you go, done. That is 55. Part of 55 done, 56 coming soon, which I'm looking forward to that because the phaser banks. So done. That's the first part of magazine 15. Yeah, granted, sorry, 3 months late, not my fault. So again, thanks again for watching. Like and subscribe, follow me on social media. If you're into this one yourself, fine. If you want to help, I do need help with if you like these videos, be a Patreon. Please be a Patreon, because it's going to be costing me a hell of a lot of money very quickly to get this sorted. Like I say, 15's here, 16's over there, 17 is on its way. So we've got a lot of models coming very quickly. Model pieces coming very quickly. So please help me on Patreon if you can. Links are in the description below. And I'll see you in another video. Bye for now.